everyone, welcome to my back patio right now. It's a gorgeous day in Ohio, and this is my day 44 of my quarantine distraction videos that I've been making. I know I've had a bit of a break in the past few weeks because it's been the end of the school year and it's been really rather intense. Now that school is out, Friday was my last day, I will hopefully be able to focus a little bit more on some video production for you, and I'm hoping to get out maybe 2 videos a week. Once I kind of figure out a schedule, I'll let you know of the days that I'm hoping to have as my regular upload days. So today's video I made quite simply because I had some shipments of some cups that were ordered on Etsy and I needed to get them shipped out. So I thought, why not do a video on how I box things and ship things? So I've got a couple of boxes here ready to be picked up by the post office tomorrow. Many people will choose different avenues. This is what I use that works for me. It works convenient for me because I can weigh my pieces at home. I get the boxes shipped to me from the post office and my pieces can be picked up. I don't have to drive anywhere to drop them off. So I'm going to show you the process that I do for that, and I hope you find it somewhat beneficial. My number one thing that I just want to tell you though, right off the bat, is always double box. The worst thing is you've shipped your beautiful pieces somewhere and someone opens it up and there's this chink chink of broken pottery that's clattering around on the inside. So double boxing and really protect your pieces. That's key thing number one. So hopefully you enjoy this. Drop me any comments or questions that you might have in the comments below, and I hope you stay safe, stay healthy, and keep potting if you can. So a couple of things that I do before I even start to put it in the boxes or anything. The first thing that I always want to do is make sure that the bottom of any pot is very smooth. So if you have a foot ring or a wide bottom, you don't want to have any sort of a scratchy or groggy surface that could end up by scratching a table or a countertop for the person who's going to be receiving it. Now there are a few different things that you can use. One would be a stilt stone. So stilt stones come in different sizes. A stilt stone is just an abrasive, sort of a grinding type stone. Maybe you would use it to sharpen, scissors or a knife. But in the case of this, I would just use this, and you could do this underwater if you want. You're just going to use this in a repetitive motion, like this. I know that can drive people crazy, so I don't want to do it too much. But you would go over that, maybe do it at a slight angle over the edge, and really smooth it off. That will take off a lot of things. Another option would be you could use, say, like a diamond sanding pad. This is from Diamond Core Tools. I will put a link in the video description for this. In fact, I'll put links for all of these. So this side is the abrasive side. I don't know if we can get it to focus there. There we go. So you can kind of see it a little bit. It has this texture of it's a surface that's going to grind it. Diamond Core Tools, I don't know, do they have diamond dust? I don't know, but you can take this over it, and this is a foam block, so it can kind of flex a little bit. Okay, another option, and I believe this is also Diamond Core 2. This is a disc, an abrasive disc that I attached to a bat, and I can put that on my wheel, and I can, as I'm spinning that with a little bit of water on it, that will also grind it. So whatever method you choose, just make sure that it's smooth before you package it. Once I have smoothed it, I do make sure that I'm getting all the dust off of there with a damp towel. I don't like to package something where it has dust all over it. I think no one wants to feel that when they take it out of a package. So these are ready to box. Once you decide what shipping service you plan to use, that will help you determine the kinds of boxes you're going to use. Now, I use USPS priority mail for my shipping. The reason I do that is because, number one, I can measure my weight of my pieces here at home on my scale. I can box it at home, and I can also make my shipping labels at home. I don't have to drive anywhere to drop it off. So if I use USPS priority mail shipping, I could use, say, something like the regular boxes, okay? As long as you have, you know, it doesn't have stuff all over the outside. You want it to be a pretty plain box. Or if I am using USPS, I am going to use the priority mail shipping boxes. Now, the reason I use these is because you can get these free from the US Post Office, okay? You just get on their website and you can request what sizes you want. You cannot use the priority mail mailboxes if you're shipping any other way. The priority mail mailboxes, you actually have to sign saying that you are going to be using them for priority mail only. Like, you cannot use those and stick it inside of another box and ship FedEx. When you get the USPS boxes, they come folded up. You can get them in a carton of like 25 at one time, okay? And when I do the bottom, I just use one piece of tape across the big seam. Now this is the interior box. When I'm doing the exterior box, not only do I do the tape across the seam, but I will do tape along the edges too. The outer box is going to be more secured. So I have a smaller inner box and a larger outer box. Okay, you kind of have to watch your sizes sometimes, because if you exceed 12 inches, you will have a surcharge for an oversized package. Okay, now I have my mug ready to ship. This is one of my Gettysburg mugs that I make. I do a whole line of national parks mugs. You can check out my Etsy site, but my daughter is a ranger, a summer ranger at Gettysburg, so I have a special affection for this one. When I begin wrapping something, I usually use large bubble wrap as my preferred wrap directly around the pottery. If large bubble wrap isn't available, then I will go to small bubble wrap. If that's not available, then I will go to a dense foam. And if that's not available, then I would have to do like fluffy paper or something. So on this, I'm going to start by wrapping the bubble wrap around, but notice that I've started off I give the handle a little extra cushion. So I'm making sure that the handle is getting a couple layers there. So the handle has a layer from each side. So once I've gone around, now I'm going to go around it the other way. Okay, and then when I place it into the box, it's really important that I am paying attention where the handle is, because I want the handle to be angled like toward a corner. So like the handle is angled toward a corner rather than being angled right toward a side or straight up. I want the handle to have as much protection as I can get. Okay, so that's my first box. Because I'm shipping two things today, I'm going to write on this that this is the Gettysburg mug. I don't want to get those mixed up. Again, I start off by wrapping around the handle and then over the handle again. and then around it the other direction. And again, I'm paying attention to where my handle is. My handle is angled toward the corner. When you have placed it in there with the bubble wrap, you should have no movement. Like when I shake that, I cannot hear any movement. All of the air is completely filled in there. Okay, now the next step is preparing this box to get the smaller box. These are not the same height. I don't know if you can see, but there's about 1.5 inches or 2 inches difference. The smaller one will have a little bit of cushioning underneath it and above it, not to mention around it. All right, so I have a couple of layers of the small air pillows. So, and again, these are all just recycled. I am recycling my packing materials. So the air pockets are in the bottom. And then I usually use whatever air pockets I have to go around. And then lastly, I'll put a few air pockets on top. Okay. Now, when I do close this up, it might be ever so slightly domed, not domed a whole bunch. Okay, and I have my postal scale or my scale, and I'm gonna weigh that, and I'm just under 2.5 pounds. It's like 2.25 pounds. So my goal with mugs is I pretty much know any mug that I do will be under 3 pounds when I double box it. Usually when I make a label, I might say 2.5 pounds or 2.75 pounds, because anywhere between 2.25 and 3 pounds, if it's under 3, it's all going to be the same price. A tape gun is not necessary, but it's handy. And of course, I've got my tape stuck together. So again, this is the outer box. I have the tape along the seam, and then the 2 edges. I like to make sure that it's very secure. I will also do the top in the same manner with the long strip and then the 2 on the edges. If I didn't have enough air pillows, I could use more bubble wrap in there. I could use peanuts. I prefer the starch peanuts because they can recycle, but I have learned I don't keep them in my basement with my other stuff because starch peanuts are a food source for critters, so be careful of that. You don't want to store them someplace and attract bugs. Blah. And this is my Gettysburg mug, and that is just a little under 2.5. Okay, so at this point I have my boxes with the bubble wrap ready to go, and I am shipping from my orders that were placed on Etsy. Now, because I'm doing the USPS priority mail, I don't actually make my labels through Etsy. Some people, I'm sure, find that it works great. I just go directly to my account on the USPS website, and I make my priority mail shipping labels based on my account that I have on the USPS website. I use shipping labels that I get inexpensively off of Amazon, and with every purchase I am printing out a receipt that has a little personalized note on it, and I print out an information sheet. This is an information sheet that I just give to people, kind of an introduction of me, my story. I have some QR codes there at the bottom, so you know, if someone wanted to check out my YouTube channel, they could, sort of thing. I will always kind of fold these, and then I will place a business card in there with it, and I will place it in my box. Just want to make sure I'm putting the right one in the right box. Yep. Okay, this is the hedgehog mug. All right, so I put it in there underneath my bubbles. And then the last two pieces, again, just like I did on the bottom of the box, I put them on that outer edge just to make sure that that is secure. And then I will peel off my label. And stick it on there, okay? Same thing with this. I have my receipt, I have my info sheet, stick my business card in there. Okay, now I know I have double boxed this already, but I like to err on the side of caution, and I have a little fragile stamp that I use, and I will put it around the box. I used to actually write on there with a marker, and then I realized writing the word fragile took me a long time, so I just bought this inexpensive stamp. And I like that. Ouch. I just got my finger. Okay. And honestly, when I double box like this, I think I've had over 800 shipments that I have sent out like this, and I can count on one hand how many times I've had something break. I don't know. One time it was shipping to like Alaska, and I don't know if the air pillows deflated or what. So if I am shipping in weird climates, like I am afraid it's going to freeze, I sometimes don't use air pillows. I'll use something more substantial like that dense foam wrap instead of air pillows. Now, I always save my receipts because when I go to do taxes, I will always need to know what I spent on my shipping throughout the year, so I save all my receipts and I add them up when I'm doing taxes. And when I mention taxes, that will lead me to also, I have to pay sales tax. I have a vendor's license for here in Ohio, so if you are selling online, you really want to do it legally, so you're not, going to be, caught without declaring your taxes and stuff like that. Because I'm selling on Etsy, the online platform does collect the taxes for me in the state of Ohio. And then I end up by paying those. Yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. I have a transient vendor's license, which means that I can go to, say, an art fair in Columbus, which is several counties away from where I live, but yet it's still valid in the state of Ohio. I can sell in more than just my home county. Yeah, so shoot me any questions that you might have. Leave a comment below, and I hope this was helpful. Just remember, double boxing is key. Don't single box. It's not worth it. Oh, and one other thing I'll mention is on Etsy, and I don't know, I'm sure that some of you out there sell on other platforms besides Etsy. I'm just selling on Etsy because I don't have time to figure out anything else right now, and Etsy is not my primary thing that I'm doing. Really what I'm doing primarily is making the videos. But with Etsy, they try to get people to go for free shipping. Like, they will give search priority to people who are offering free shipping with their pottery pieces. And if you want to do that, you go for it. I can't do that though. If I did that, I would have to raise my prices. So if I'm selling at a local Cincinnati fair versus selling on Etsy, you want your prices to be equitable. If I have a $21 mug, I need it to be $21 in all of my venues. If I offered free shipping, I would lose so much money if I didn't just hike my prices like crazy, because shipping this box to, let's see, this box is going to North Carolina, and this one cost me $10.90. This box, same weight, is going to someplace in Ohio, and this is costing me $9.70. So it's, it's only a little less than $1 to ship it to Ohio than North Carolina. However, if I shipped it to California or Oregon or Washington, it would be over $21 for me to ship the same box. So please watch. If you are offering free shipping, don't get taken, and don't kill yourself with free shipping. We're not Amazon. We're handmade business, and hopefully people will understand that. And I have a set price on my shipping. Like mugs, I charge $19, boom. On California shipments, I lose a little bit of money. On Indiana shipments, I have an overage. But if it's over, a few dollars, I usually just give it back to the person. So I try to keep my customers happy. Okay, so hope you all enjoyed that, maybe learned something if you haven't shipped before, and I hope you stay safe, stay healthy, and keep potting if you can.